So since our last council meeting, I was able to do one of the things that I like to do best in this position, which is speak to high school students. I was invited in to speak to two different American government classes, and we went over the city's budget and how would they solve the budget issues and how would they allocate resources. And they all seemed like really nice kids, except for the one who didn't want to put any money into administration and finance. After I told them that's my favorite department because it keeps me from going to jail. And he thought it was pretty funny. He's like, "I'm gonna send you to jail," and I was like, well, "Dude, I just met you, man." But their teacher is Jennifer Wilmetti, and she had them fill out forms explaining their choices, and then she scanned them in, and some of the students have included their emails so I can go through and then provide feedback to them about the choices that they made. And I did tell them that I am not above cribbing from a high school kid, so if they've come up with a brilliant solution, I'll be sending it out to council, and I'll attribute the credit. I'll be like, "Hey, Bob at the high school came up with this." And then I was also able to speak with two CTE, so career and technical education classes. And those kids were really engaged and really excited. So structurally, the way the high school is set up, the academy students are required to do quite a significant number of volunteer hours, and then they also get to do job shadowing. The CTE students are not able to do that, and most of those kids have to work to help support their families. So it excludes them from being able to participate in the academy. And in discussion with them, I was like, "Well, hey, here's the good news. Y'all don't have school on Friday. You've got Thanksgiving break, Christmas break. If you want a job shadow, the city would be more than happy for you to come and do that." And they were very, very excited to have that opportunity. Two of the county commissioners and two of our council members met, as Councilor Hickerson said. We wanted to figure out if there are some two or three key areas that the county and the city can focus on together to sort of maximize the use of resources to address some issues within the county. And then, again, two of commissioners and two of our city councilmen and I met with them to review all of the agreements that we have with the county. And there's a slew of them. And then there are a few where we're going to propose some changes because we don't know that they're functioning in the way that we had hoped when they were originally contemplated. We had a Wyoming Association of Municipalities Legislative Leadership Committee meeting where we went over a lot of the bills that are being worked through in committees. And then that information is sent out to, I represent Region 6, to all of the communities in our region so that everybody's informed of the work that's happening in the legislature and they can provide their feedback. I saw Jeannie at the mobile food pantry, which is always, it's the third Saturday of every month. You get there about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you can fill the boxes. There's no sort of filtering process. You just show up and you get a box of food, or if you have a large family, more than one, no questions asked. And with the pause and reduction in SNAP benefits, people were really struggling, and it was, sadly, there were a ton of people there to receive food. Happily, there were a ton of people there to help. And it is really one of the best things that you can do in this community is to take that time. Obviously, I met with quite a few constituents, and we had really good conversations about the issues that they're facing and how we can help them. The Chamber of Commerce luncheon was wonderful. The Chamber of Commerce Rockstar Awards was really fun. My wife and oldest daughter were out of town at a hockey tournament. So instead of my wife being my co-presenter, my 10-year-old was. And she was definitely the loudest presenter of the evening. And really had a great time. And that is such a wonderful way for our community to recognize the businesses who give back and make this a better place to live. Coming up this Saturday is the International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. It starts at 11 a.m. And certainly living in our community, many of us have been touched by loss through suicide. And I would certainly encourage people to go. It's a really supportive, wonderful environment with a very amazing speaker who's sitting in the audience, April Thompson. And I've heard her speak before on this issue, and it's well worth your time. And then I have two things before I finish. I got to surprise the young man who designed the winning flag selection today. We went to the high school and walked into his classroom, and it was a lot of fun. And it was kind of funny because, he was talking about, well, I just this and that. And in talking to him further, though, he spent quite a bit of time learning about flag design, what are good principles, what it should look like, and that certainly paid off for him in the selection. And then finally, you may notice there's new signage up above our logo. That was done by Sweetwater Custom Works, and that is something I think everybody can agree that these are particularly trying times. People are very stressed. People are struggling. And so I purchased that out of pocket and donated it to the city because I thought that would be a good reminder for all of us that while we struggle and wrestle with budgets and hear audit presentations, that there is certainly a higher power that we can rely on to help guide us through these things. So with that,